All right, last but not least here, Mr. Marceau, AEW Double or Nothing. And these should be interesting predictions. I know you're not closely following the product right now, but I am curious to see who you have going over in some of these matches. Mark Briscoe and Ricochet are having a match this weekend. This is a stretcher match. Now, why is it a stretcher match? I mean, they've been feuding a little bit, but I think it's a stretcher match because a stretcher match that Sabu had in ECW was what got Tony Khan like really invested in ECW or some shit. So in light of Sabu's recent passing, I think that's why this is a stretcher match. Otherwise, it really doesn't make sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I think he's trying to pay tribute to Sabu. They haven't said that on TV, but just from what I understand, that's probably why they're doing it.
God.
Ricochet's got to win this. I mean, I like Mark Briscoe when he's over, but Ricochet would have to win. I think he's going to win this match.
They dropped the ball on Mark Briscoe when Jay passed away. Ricochet wins.
Okay. Do you think Mark Briscoe should have been? I mean, he was Ring of Honor World Champion, but you think he should have been?
They should have pushed him more in AEW. The whole Ring of Honor, they get rid of Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor sucks. Move on from that.
That I agree with. It's time to move on from that. Fernando said Sol Ruca is going to be the top babyface in the women's division on the main roster. Give it time. I think she will be up in that conversation. Sol Ruca is very good. And Obafemi is Brock Lesnar 2.0. In certain respects, maybe. In other respects, I hope not. Hopefully he's, not involved in some of the stuff outside.
Hope he doesn't like urine pictures.
Yeah, let's just put it that way. Grunt said Ricochet wins easy. Yeah, I hope so. Good question here from Johnny, bringing the fire questions today. What is your favorite stretcher match of all time?
This is the easiest question I've ever seen in my life. Judgment Day 2003. No. Yeah, it was a Judgment Day. Lesnar versus Big Show.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say, yeah.
Yep.
I think it was Judgment Day 03, right?
I think so, yep.
Yeah. Mine, personally, Shawn Michaels Batista. One Night Stand 2008. I'm not sorry and I don't love you. Amazing. That was cinema. Amazing cinema. So I'm going with that. That's a good pick too. Big Show and Brock Lesnar. Matt and Jeff Hardy also had one on SmackDown. That was quite good as well. So those are some honorable mentions. Back in 2009. Ricochet and Mark going to do a triple jump move. I don't know what that means. Noob said Ricochet is going to be stretched out of AEW. I would hope not. He just showed up less than a year ago, so I would hope he's not getting stretchered out of the company just yet. Hurt Syndicate in the Sons of Texas for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I said this before. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I like Hurt Syndicate. They're doing something with MJF right now that's been entertaining. One of the better parts of the show as of late, but MJF, as of now, in the ring is not on this show, a lot like a Dynasty. I think that's a mistake. You have him not in the ring, but the fucking, like, Sammy Guevara's on the card. Who gives a shit? They're the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Ooh, champions versus champions. Who honestly gives a fuck? And I can tell you, it's not just me, because I see you raising your hand there. It wasn't just me, because when they came out on Wednesday, no one reacted. You could hear a pin drop. Who do you think wins here, the Sons of Texas or the Hurt Syndicate for the AEW World Tag Team titles?
Oh, the Hurt's going to win. I mean, the Sons of Texas, I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah. I don't think anyone cares about Sons of Texas or the Ring of Honor product in general, which Grunt agrees with. He said, Ring of Honor is definitely my biggest critique of Tony for sure. I'm glad he bought it over Vince/Paul. I agree with that. But they need to run more pay-per-views so the TVs can actually build to something. Yeah, the TVs are like basically dark. It's basically Dark 2.0. Ricochet and Mark might top their matches. What, the matches that we talked about? I don't think so. I don't think Ricochet and Mark is going to be better than Brock and Big Show or Shawn and Batista, but that's just me. Hurt Syndicate's winning. Does anyone even care about the match? Probably not. That's a TV match, but I personally don't care. Kazuchika Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey for the AEW Continental Championship. Okada's not dropping this belt till All In. He's facing Kenny Omega in a champion versus champion match. So, ergo, Okada retains. I know you're not a big Speedball guy. He's not your cup of tea. Do you think he wins here, or Okada retains?
I think Okada retains, but I mean his run in AEW's phone hasn't been good either. So
no,
I'll go with Okada. Yeah.
You bring up a good point, though. I was watching Dynamite earlier, and when Okada, they showed him on the screen for a backstage interview, it felt like no one gave a shit. He's doing the bitch thing. He just says bitch a lot, but it's like that got old pretty quickly, and it's been old for a long time now, and just I personally don't care. For a guy that should feel like a massive deal when he comes out in Okada, it's almost like I have apathy. Not that I don't care, but it's like he feels like not even like anyone else on the roster. He feels like below, and he's been champion for over a year. I don't know. He's just kind of there at this point. There is a reason Ring of Honor went out of business. Why would I care about the Ring of Honor tag champs during anything? I mean, I love Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor is great. Currently, it's not, but I'm glad they bought it, but they just don't utilize it properly. And Johnny said it's going to be the best champion versus champion match of all time, talking about Hurt Syndicate and Sons of Texas. FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. FTR just turned heel for context and turned on Adam Copeland. I think they would be very stupid to have them lose here. I think FTR wins. What do you think?
FTR.
FTR. I'm looking forward to Nigel being back in the ring, though. I'm a Nigel McGuinness guy. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Championship. I know you're a Mina fan. Mina's very good. They actually officially signed her. She is all elite. Too bad her friend might be headed to WWE, that being Mariah May, which Mr. Marceau called as soon as the rumor hit the rumor mill. I said, no chance. That would be dumb. Not going to happen. And then Mr. Marceau, as always, is probably right. So we'll see. Not confirmed, but it might happen. But anyway, Tony Storm or Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Championship. Who wins?
I mean, Tony just won the belt back, so it would be weird for her
to
lose it. I do like Mina Mellons, but I'm going with Tony Storm.
There you go. Is that the Cornette nickname for Mina Shirakawa?
Yes.
That makes sense. Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, the AEW TBS champion, non-title match, but it is the finals of the Women's Owen Hart Cup winner, earning a title shot at All In against Tony Storm, assuming she wins, which she will. This honestly could go either way. Mercedes is the TBS champion, so you would think, oh, she's got to lose. Like, why the fuck would she go for another belt? But at the same time, though, she's actually undefeated. So this is a tough one to predict, so I'm going to go with you picking your match first, picking your result first. Who you got?
See, like, this one's not as hard for me to say because I'm not that invested.
Okay.
So, I mean, we have that 70s girl, Jamie Hayter, drop the ball. Talk about bad booking. Tony's booking of her has been horrible. I mean, I guess she's going for the title here or for this. Mercedes doesn't do jobs. Mercedes wins.
All right. Yeah. I don't think Monet loses her first match here. That's kind of my holdup. I don't think that, because the thing is, if Jamie Hayter wins, she pins the TBS champion. Why would you not then do Jamie Hayter and Mercedes for the TBS championship? You know, it just doesn't make sense. So I think Mercedes is going to win, which I fucking hate to even say that. And I like Mercedes. She's great, but like, I mean, I don't know. She's not my favorite by any means. I mean, I made that quite clear. The promo she cut on Wednesday was not good at all. But then Jamie Hayter's not going to wrestle at All In England, which is where she's from. Or it's not, All In's not there, actually. All In's in Texas this year, so I take that back. Maybe she can win it after the fact. But yeah, I think Mercedes wins here as well. Noob had FTR winning. He also said Tony is winning, but I like Mina. Grunt said it's all going to be worth it once the bell rings for Okada versus Omega. Yeah, I mean, that match is going to be excellent. I agree, but it's like that doesn't justify all the abysmal booking of Okada in the last year. Holding a championship that no one gives a fuck about, yeah, that match is going to be great, but once he loses, what after that? Like, what then? You know what I mean? Like, they have to really start pushing him as a main event attraction. And first and foremost,
too late for that, I think.
Maybe. I mean, he might be, he's like late 30s, so I think it's still possible. But I think moreover than anything, get him the fuck away from the Elite. I mean, that has done him way more harm than good. The Elite is... I mean, they drag almost anyone down who's involved with them. So he has to split away from them immediately. Noob also said Okada's winning, but my goodness, I thought Shinsuke's run in WWE was bad, but Okada's run in AEW is laughable. I mean, it's not a fair thing to compare the two. Shinsuke's been there for a decade. Okada's been there for a year. We have to revisit that in a few years from now. Okada's won a few belts, but it's not like, or Nakamura's won a few belts, but it's not like any of those reigns meant a damn. His U.S. title reigns, his IC title reigns were all fucking terrible, so... I'll still take Okada over Nakamura most days out of the week. Johnny said Daniel Garcia on a pay-per-view, but not as TNT champion. He's not the TNT champion anymore. He actually lost the belt to Adam Cole. You would never know because they don't really talk about the TNT title anymore, but that he's not the TNT champion.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah, I honestly forgot until the other day. Grunt got FTR and Tony, by the way, for the win. I agree. Johnny's got Jamie Hayter. Grunt said Hayter. We're going Mercedes.
They don't know Mercedes Maivia. She ain't going. She ain't dropping the belt.
We got to come up with a nickname for Mercedes now. We got Rhea Maivia. We got Becky Belair. We got to come up with one for Mercedes. If you guys got a good nickname for Mercedes, Sasha, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think who. That doesn't work for me, sister. I mean, we can at least apply that one to Mercedes in matches, right? Doesn't work for her to be losing at this stage. She's got to win.
Yeah. Mercedes Copeland, Mercedes Moxley.
Mercedes and McMahon? I mean, that sounds weird.
That sounds weird. I don't know. We'll let the chat. That's why you have the chat here.
Yeah,
They can
exactly.
come up with something.
Maybe the chat can give us some ideas. AEW is going to do more champion versus champion matches. They've done a lot of them already, so that wouldn't surprise me. And the Noob also said, I'm going to go with Mercedes Moné because this is not the Jamie Hayter I've seen before she came back from injury in that 70s look. Hollywood Mercedes, yeah, that's a good one, Fernando. The Jamie Hayter thing, I will say this, she looks like a character out of Scooby-Doo. I'm not a fan of it. Most people aren't a fan of it. But the thing is, she said in an interview that she's like, oh, this is really who I am, and I want to bring myself to the show. And I'm like, maybe...
Yeah, but you're not the booker, so get over it.
This is bad, though. But
it's not good. It's not a good look for her.
I'm thinking maybe don't do that on the show. Like what we saw from you originally, maybe that's not you, but maybe be that person. You don't have to be yourself sometimes. I'm just saying that's not great advice. But yeah, Mercedes McMahon, Alexis said, yeah, I said that, but we could do better than that. She also said F the Bucks. She fucking hates the Young Bucks.
Who doesn't?
You got to get her a Young Buck shirt for her birthday or some shit. I mean, no, there's people that love. I mean, not that I hate the Bucks, but at this point, it's just they're channel changing material.
I got plans. I got to go to Grunt to the big opening of Wooden Top.
That was before we hit live here. I'll tell her about that inside joke later on today. She's gonna get a good kick out of that. Grunt said, "Do you think it's possible Okada beats Omega?" Yeah, it's possible. I think Omega wins. I could see Okada winning. That would honestly probably be the better outcome.
Hope he doesn't beat him with that shitty clothesline finish he has.
She's always had that clothesline finish.
It's
the Rainmaker.
Terrible. That might be the worst finisher of all time.
It's the most.
The guy might be 200 pounds soaking wet, and he beats you with a clothesline that looks like shit.
He's got the wind up first. It's the Rainmaker.
Mine would look better than that.
Wow. Okada Rainmaker hater here. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo are going to be in Jamie's corner. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of the look. I don't think most people are a fan of the look. Go back to the blonde hair. I don't know.
She just looked like a star before. I mean, she had like all the aura. I mean, I feel like
now, but
I don't know why you change it. It was a great look. I don't know.
Because this is who she is. She likes the counterculture shit. But guess what? Maybe don't be yourself. She's not over. No, she's still over, but she's not as over as she was before, to be fair. She's not remotely as over. She was very over originally. She's got to go back to whatever that was, find that spark again. Maybe we see that on Sunday.
Does she still have the same music at least?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, thankfully. That would have been dumb to change it.
What was that better, Jamie or Okada? JBL.
No, they said Jamie, not JBL. Or are you just saying JBL?
He said Jamie or Okada. Jamie Hayter has a good clothesline.
I'll go Jamie.
I dig it. Grunt, it's not a good look, bro.
What?
He said, I dig it. Fuck them haters with haters spelled as her name. It's not a good look.
Oh, the look for Jamie, yeah. I agree. Have you guys watched Tiger Mask versus the Rainmakers at God Tier Finisher by Japanese? I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea what you're talking about. Next match here, men's Owen Hart Cup Finals. Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. This should be my match of the weekend. I think this will be a great match. Winner also going on a challenge for the AEW World Championship at All In, probably against Jon Moxley. I doubt he loses it before then. Ospreay or Adam Page? Who goes over?
This is a tough one. I knew you were going to get to me.
Yep.
I think Ospreay should win.
Okay.
But I just feel like Tony has such a hard-on for Paige.
Paige is great, though.
He's going to win, and Paige is going to be the one to beat Moxley. I think it should be Ospreay. I mean, he's the guy.
He's
becoming more of a normal guy, but I think he should win. I'm going to stick with Ospreay. I don't know. I have like a little bit on my shoulder being like, Tony really wants Paige to be the one, like, to beat Moxley, but I'm going to go with Ospreay.
I'm going to go Ospreay too, for the sole reason that if Paige loses here, and I don't love this idea, but we've talked about this before, I think they're headed towards Paige and Swerve teaming up, putting their differences aside, to face the Young Bucks. Because they teased that at Dynasty. You have the most bewildered look on your face. I know.
Why?
Because I think that's how they utilize those guys on that show. I don't like it either, but I think that's what they're going to do.
But he burned his house down. You don't just move on from that.
I mean, maybe they expect. Listen, can they coexist? It's a good story. They haven't done that before.
It just doesn't make any sense.
My point is that whether you like it or not, and I'm not saying I like it, I think they're going to do that match. If Will
But like,
Ospreay
who
loses,
wants it? The thing, I guess, my thing is like, no one wants to see that match anyway. So why would you even go in that direction?
but
The Bucks are done. Who cares about them?
I agree, but I'm just saying, at least that match, I could see that. I'm not saying I like it.
Wasn't Swerve just the champion like fucking 6 months ago? Now he's teaming up with fucking Paige, who burned his house down to face the Bucks. That sounds awful.
I love telling you about shit that because you don't watch AEW all that closely. So I love hearing your reactions firsthand. No, it does not make sense. You're right. But what I'm saying is, RJ said Grunt said he cares.
About what?
Swerve and Hangman becoming friends. I like the storyline. I think the storyline's great.
Sense.
They'll have to make it make sense.
You can't make that make sense. You burn someone's fucking house down and like kidnap their child, or broke into his house. You won't just be like, you know what? I just want to be friends with you now. Like that's no.
My point is, I could see them doing that match. If Ospreay loses here, I don't know what match he would do with him. Illogical or not, I don't know who else he faces at All In.
Yeah, so but like I said, there's no. I just don't understand. Like I mean, I don't think it makes sense, but whatever.
Well, Adam Page, I will say, has shown more remorse for his actions.
Buy him a new house?
Swerve, the thing is, I don't know why Swerve would forgive him or would want to team with him. And I also don't give a fuck about the Bucks. If they faced like FTR, I would almost be more okay with it. But the Bucks always have to be involved in something of importance on this show, so therefore they're the opponents. That's just what it is.
But they're not important, so...
They're not important, but they want to be involved in something important. I think Ospreay wins here, though. I will say.
I think Ospreay wins, too.
Grunt said so is Swerve.
I don't know.
He's shown remorse.
Yeah, but...
He did burn his house down.
He did, yeah. I don't know. I guess
I
would just move on from that in real life.
I guess my point is, I could see them making up, maybe not at this stage because it really hasn't been that long since the house burning.
But I guess are the Bucks champions? So why?
That's the other thing. Like, what do they gain out of teaming with each other? Nothing, because they're not champions. What'd you say?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Swerve flat out said that he deserved to get his house burned down to Paige, because Swerve was an asshole to Paige a year before that. So they have done both. They've both done bad things to each other.
It's still, like I said, at the end of the day, I don't care. The Bucks are terrible.
I do care. I just don't like the fact that the Bucks will be their opponents. That's my bigger problem. The fact that it doesn't make sense. I mean, they're gonna try to
payoff though. That's what I don't get. There's no payoff.
Even if they win, when they will, where do you go from there?
Exactly.
That I agree with. Oh man!
Oh, we gotta get the Bucks on the car because it's all in. Whee! Flip your fucking cheekbone. Like, who cares?
Grunt also said earlier, Fernando has Ospreay winning. Grunt said, I mean, the haterade is just Kobashi's burning lariat, so of course it's great. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Hater is great in general. Alexis said, I think if she went back to her OG hair color and mixed her new style with her old style, it would work. It's too much going on, and she's not a redhead. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. That's not her natural hair color? I would imagine. I don't know.
I doubt the red hair is her natural hair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like a red. That's like a fucking bright ass, like Becky Lynch orange. Yeah. Yeah, maybe mix the two styles because the current 70s punk rock look isn't. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, but who am I? Will and Hangman going 40 minutes. That's fine with me. Show might be a long one, but yeah, I could see that. Hangman is Mr. AEW. He must win. He is Mr. AEW. Noob said Ospreay is winning, but I get the feeling that Hangman is teaming up with Swerve to beat the Bucks. Yeah, we mentioned that. I get that Page burned down Swerve's home, but this is good storytelling for the sake of plot. Okay, yeah, I could see that. Eric.
I mean, hey, if you enjoy it, I guess so.
I mean, yeah, I like the story, so I'm okay with that. It's just the fact they'd be facing the Bucks. I don't really give a fuck about that personally. I'd rather see Swerve go back after the belt, but that's just me. Eric Douglas, what's going on? Thanks for joining. He said, so Jamie Hayter 2-year story with Tony about the title gets shafted because he can't because she didn't main event Mania 4 years ago. I don't know what one has to do with the other. I have no idea what you're talking about. You had me, and then you lost me in the second half. They gained the fact they helped save. Oh, you're talking about... He said they gain the fact if Swerve and Hangman team up against the Bucks, what they benefit from is saving AEW. Saving AEW from what? The Bucks have done nothing. Their hostile takeover, the company failed. They pile drove the fucking owner, and it led nowhere. Tony Khan's back on the show within a month. There is no takeover of AEW. The Death Riders are terrible. The Elite is terrible. There is no takeover. They're not saving AEW from fucking anything. Why the fuck would they care anyway? Why wouldn't they want championships? That is my bigger question. Them teaming, I don't hate that as much as Mr. Marceau, especially if they make it make sense, which give it time, we'll see. Maybe he'll send him a fruit basket for apologizing for burning out his house. I mean, I would want that personally. I would need a gift card to Wooden Tap or fucking McDonald's or something like that personally, but, they need to make it make sense. Most people enjoy a redemption story. I agree, Maria. Johnny said, Hurt Syndicate versus Hangman and Swerve for the tag titles. I would much rather see that. Fernando brought up KO and Sammy keep forgiving each other after all the horrible things they've done to one another, and why not Swerve and Hangman? Well, I mean, to be fair,
it's a totally different thing. KO and Sammy have like a legit real life friendship, and
they're not burning
his house down either.
I don't. Yeah, that's kind
people. I guess people just don't care if their house gets burned down. If you just apologize, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, I guess, listen, I don't know if in real life, let me ask you a question, not you specifically, Mr. Marceau, but just hypothetically speaking here to the audience.
If you burn my house down, I would never talk to you ever again.
There you go. Why would you want to be friends or team up to save the company you work for? Who cares? That I don't care about. That doesn't make sense to me.
Save the company. I mean, whatever.
That justifies this person burning down your house? Come on. That's stupid. How many songs do you listen to from the 70s? Oh, I don't know. Any 70s picks there, Mr. Marceau? Any 70s songs that you like?
I'm more of an 80s guy. I'm more of an 80s guy.
Best decade for music right there, Mr. Marceau. That's the only right answer. And then last question here. Kenny Omega, or last match to predict. Last question for you. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, speaking of him, the Ops, and Willow Nightingale versus the Death Riders and the Young Bucks in Anarchy in the Arena. Gabe Kidd is not involved. AT's getting involved. He got involved on Dynamite, but he's not in the match. I don't know why. That is Anarchy in the Arena this year. I don't like Anarchy in the Arena. They've done it now for fucking 5-6 years. I think it's garbage. People like it, though. The AEW audience, the diehards love it. That's totally fine. Not a fan myself, personally. But they have built it well. I think the heels win here. So who do you got, Mr. Marceau? Death Riders, Bucks, or the baby faces?
I guess the Death Riders and the Bucks win. I would assume, because I mean, why not?
I mean, I think they'll put more heat on the heels by having them win, right? That would make sense.
I heard the Anarchy in the Arena is going to have cheese graters, weed whackers, and pizza cutters.
I hope so. Got to go all out, baby. I heard they might bring in Nick Gage, too, to help out combat Gabe Kidd on the other side of the ring. Not my cup of tea, personally.
Cup of tea is an understatement. It is just garbage. I don't know. I don't get people's obsession with it, but...
And they do it every year. I think it would also benefit, like with WWE and War Games, if they didn't do this stuff on the same show every year. They've headlined Double or Nothing with it almost every year for the last 3 or 4 years. Why not just do it on TV? Or why not do it... I don't understand why it has to be Double or Nothing.
Don't do it. You just
don't
do
it. Yes, I mean, I wouldn't do it either, but I'm just saying. They follow the formula of usually the heels win a Double or Nothing, and then they do a rematch, Blood and Guts, and the baby faces win there. Maybe just don't fucking do it. Like, it's just formulaic booking. It's stupid. Like, they've been doing this now for 4 years. That's why I think it's... The match itself I don't like, but, I don't like the ECW stuff either, so that's just me. I just don't like that they do this, and then they do Blood and Guts a couple weeks later on TV, and then the opposite team that lost here will win that. But they've been doing that now for 4 years to the point where it's so predictable, and it's formulaic, lazy booking. It's like with WWE and War Games. It has to be at Survivor Series. Hell in a Cell. It has to be in October every year. They don't do that anymore, but I wasn't a fan of it then either. Grunt said 2000s music from me. I was raised on WWE pay-per-view theme songs and SVR soundtracks. Me too. Johnny said Gabe and Hook might get involved. Yeah, Gabe will get involved. Hook, maybe. Grunt said Eddie Kingston. I would like to see Eddie Kingston back. We haven't seen him in about a year. Big Eddie Kingston guy. Anarchy in the Arena is a cluster beep. It's a cluster fuck. I'll fill in the
Yes, I fill in the bleep.
I'll fill in the bleep for you, Maria. It's a cluster fuck. And Noob said, I hate Anarchy in the Arena matches, but I'm going with Death. It's so overstimulating, but, it's just me. He said, but I'm going with the Death Riders and the Bucks are winning. I like Stadium Stampede. It was funny during the pandemic, but Anarchy in the Arena is too much. Yeah, I was more of a Stadium Stampede fan, but it's more of like a, novelty thing. Like, they did it once. That first one that they did was a lot of fun, but then they did it again. And then they did Anarchy. And they did another Anarchy, and they've done it like 3 or 4 times. Anarchy is too big for Dynamite and Collision. Disagree. I think you could do it on Dynamite. It's an arena. Stadium Stampede you have to do in a stadium per the title of the match. But Anarchy you could do on Dynamite in an arena. If they're doing 300 people on a Dynamite, which I joke about, they do many more people than that. They do 500. I'm just kidding. Like, they do at least a couple thousand at this point. You could do it on Dynamite. You don't have to do it at Double or Nothing. And then Grunt said, not even as big of a hater of the match as you guys, but yeah, they need to stop doing it at the same time every year. I agree. I think the baby faces win, but I could see Death Riders winning as well. Yeah, I could see this going either way.